2018, I was at this place where I had pursued my big dream. I had made my dream of becoming an author my reality. And then out of nowhere, I found myself not making as much money as I was originally making when I first released my book. And I had to figure out how was I going to make it? I did not want to go back to my job. I knew that God had told me to stay at home. God said that there was a way for me to make money. I just could not figure out how I can really keep this going. And at the time, we had 8 people living in a 2-bedroom house, which is next to impossible. I don't know what your family situation is like, but we had a lot of people, growing kids, me and my husband, big as ever. We are too big for this space. And I just got so frustrated. I was tired of being broke. I was tired of looking at this little house in this neighborhood. I was just so tired of everything, and I just needed something. I just wanted a change. So what I decided to do was get on YouTube. And I don't know if anybody goes on YouTube for anything, but I'm like the YouTube queen. I will Google master classes. I will take notes. I will pause, rewind. I get on Google, YouTube for everything. So I decided to start listening to this YouTube series. I want to say it was called Impact Theory. And basically it was just real life situations of people who overcame situations in their lives, and we were able to create impact. And these were just normal people who were just down and out, who were in the worst situations. So I had come upon this video on Impact Theory where this guy was talking about he was living inside his car, and he had done all these things where he was stepping out on faith, and found himself homeless pretty much. He had gone to LA to pursue his dreams, and everything had failed, and he was living in his car. And during that time, at being at his worst, he had come upon this knowledge that all things were possible for him, and that he just had to get his mind in order and start saying the right things so that he could start experiencing the right things in his real life. So I don't know if he actually read this book or not, but basically he was talking about, changing the patterns in your mind, changing the things that you're speaking on and thinking on, and you will really change your reality. So he started thinking on things, and he started speaking things, and he started meditating on things. And over time, the things and the experiences and the opportunities that he desired to have started coming into his life. It was crazy. So I was walking, and this is when we used to live in a different neighborhood, a suburb outside of Cleveland, that I did not really enjoy living in. But, you make the most of it, and you're just thankful. I was at this place where I was like, babe, we got to get out of here. I cannot live another month inside of this house. I need you to, he's doing all that he could. He literally was the only one working. I was at home. He was providing, holding it all down. And I was just like, I just know we can make it happen. I watched this video, and I sent him the video, and we started talking about well, maybe we could start doing these things with our mind, and we could start creating these things in our reality and all this stuff. So after he had watched the video, and we started going a little bit deeper into the different things that people can do and say and meditate on to make things happen in their reality, we came across a book that somebody had suggested to Manny years ago. And it was this book called Think and Grow Rich. And it was all about mindset as well. And it just told all these stories about all these people that were extremely broke, but then they got their mind set on success. They got their mind set on wealth. They got their mind meditating and believing that these experiences would happen, and all of these experiences happen. So then we started just going through the methods of just speaking and using powerful words, and then thinking powerful thoughts, and praying and believing and seeing and visualizing. And then all of a sudden, y'all, these doors started to open. And the best door, well, I'm not going to say it was the best door, because it was just the best door at that time. But the greatest thing that happened was my husband and I were able to get a new home, not based off credit, not based off having a whole bunch of money, literally within 30 days. I know people who try to buy homes for years, and it's oh my goodness, I got to do this and I got to do this. All me and Manny said, we were going to think a house was coming to us. We were going to speak that a house was coming to us. We were going to believe in our hearts and our spirits that a house is coming to us. And then it just happened. So after that happened, we started saying, what else can we do? What else can we create? What else can we bring about in our life just with our faith and our belief that it is possible for us? and things just started rolling in, and they've been rolling in ever since. Like, there are literally things that I wanted to happen with Manny on his job when he was working for a company, that through some of these faith and dreaming techniques that we're going to share with you guys at the Dream October conference, they happen. Like, literally, there have been moments where I was just like, I really want this. And within 3 days, just doing a few dreaming techniques, they just got like, someone calls me on the phone, like my cousin, like, hey, I was about to do this and I was wondering, like, all these connections are happening. And the more I study this stuff, ladies, I've been learning that the things, if done right, the things that you're meditating on, the things that you're praying on, the things that you're speaking and believing about, they normally do happen in your life within maybe a 72-hour time frame. Doors just begin to open for you, and you start to just see the light when you're doing things right. So and this is like a random live, but I just really want to inspire the believers and the dreamers to know that all the things that you want to happen can happen. All the situations in your life that you desire to happen, maybe it's something you want to happen for a family member or a friend of yours. Like, maybe they're in a really bad situation. You're like, I want to believe for them so hard. Like, the Bible talks about all the time. Now, I'm not going to say all the time, because there were a lot of times where people had to have the faith for themselves. But sometimes there were places in the Bible where a friend had to have faith for that person to have that healing. So maybe you're not coming in with a dream for yourself because you made all your dreams happen. You're living your best life. There is not another thing in this world that you desire to happen for yourself. That's great. But maybe there's a dream that you have for your neighbor. There's a dream that you have for a coworker. There is somebody that if it's not yourself, that could have a better life. So you start dreaming for them. You start praying for them. You start believing for them. You start meditating that whatever situation they're going through that you desire to change, for it to change. And when done right, and we'll be sharing with you at the Dream October conference what is wrong, what won't get your dreams accomplished, things that will completely cancel out all of your prayers. We'll be sharing those things with you guys too as well, because it's not all easy. It's not all, I'm just going to believe and it's just going to happen. There are going to be some things that you're going to have to do, and there are going to be some things that you cannot do to bring about things in your life. One thing that can block your dreams from happening is being a hater. I'm going to say that that's a freebie right there. If there is somebody in your life that you are currently hating on, that you are talking about behind their back, that maybe you're gossiping about, because you are throwing so much hate and so much negativity and a lack of love towards them, it's going to be extremely hard for you to actually bring about the change in your life that you want. Like, you're asking God to bring you love. You're asking God to bring you abundance and wealth. You're asking God to bring you all these good things, but yet what you're putting out into the world is just negative and bad and ugly and nasty. So that's normally what you're going to reap. You always want to sow seeds of goodness, seeds of love, seeds of hope, seeds of encouragement, and any other type of seeds that you're sowing that are not on that vein will cause your dreams to be taken from you. You'll see different things happen with your paycheck. You'll find yourself not being able to pay your bills on time. You'll see stuff happening in your family. Like, just because you are talking about somebody or entertaining gossip can completely block a dream from happening. But we'll talk more about that, because there's probably things that people do on a regular. Me and my husband found out a lot of things that were blocking our blessings, that were blocking our dreams, that literally prevented us from creating the things that we wanted to create. And the last thing you want to do is waste time in this creation game. You don't want to be doing the work in the morning, doing the work at night, and not seeing the results because of something that was preventable, like gossiping and all of that. So okay, I'm watching this right now. Okay, so you're asking, what was the video? So the video was an interview on impact theory, and this was in 2018. I don't exactly remember the guy. I want to say his name could have been Darren, and I probably need to go back and figure that out, because this is going to be a part of my story, because this is when my life changed, because this guy had this crazy story that was impossible, and then he started believing these things. He learned about the mind and creating things in his reality, and then that made the connection to the book. And but I want to say his name is Darren, but I'm not really sure. So but it was definitely on Impact Theory. That is a podcast. I was listening to it as the podcast, as well as on YouTube, but that's it. And it's always sharing some story about someone who overcame something major. So that is it, ladies, gents, whoever came on today. I just want to let y'all know that your dreams can become your reality. Every single thing that you desire to happen in your life can happen, and it does not have to take a lot of time, okay? That's one of the big things that my husband and I like to share, is that a lot of things that people are desiring to happen in their life, like, oh, that won't happen, I won't get that experience for another 10 years. But if you keep saying you won't have that experience for another 10 years, you will not have that experience for another 10 years. But it's when you say that that's on its way now, I already have, I am this, that, and the other, that you start making the connections, that you start receiving emails from people that are interested in you, running a section of their company, that you get a text message from an old friend that you've been wanting to reconcile with. Like, all the pieces come together when you start speaking about and thinking about the right things. All right. And you can have anything, and you can have it very quickly. Like, there's people right now that I know for a fact that God is like, get your words in order, get your mind and your thoughts in order, so that I can send you this. So that I can. Because if I give it to you right now, you're going to be so irresponsible that you're going to lose this gift. If I sent you $1,000 right now, you will have invested it in some fast food, some fashion, maybe some furniture, whatever, but nothing that's going to sustain your actual life and your dreams and things that you desire to happen. So I'm not going to bless you with it. But it's when you really get your mind in order, he can send you $1,000, and he knows how you're going to invest it. He knows who you're going to sow a seed into. He knows what classes you might take or what debt you might pay off, because he can trust you. When your mind is right, your actions flow. But when your mind is a mess, your life is going to be a mess. So I just want to hold you guys accountable to your big dreams, because that's what I do full time. I help women to make their dreams their reality. I help them to make things happen in their life that they want to happen in the time frame that they desire to happen in. So y'all, get into this Dream October conference. My husband and I are so excited to just share with you guys things that we've done to change our income, things that we've done to change our actual land and territory, things that we said and spoke to change our family dynamics, y'all, our family dynamics, which is probably the biggest dream that ever happened. And when we tell y'all the details, and I don't know how I'm going to do this yet, because Manny and I share a little bit, but we do want to share more of the details of our story so people can just have a better understanding of the war being real, but the God being way realer than any war, So we want to share with people how they can just change everything. And I'm working on a couple of things now, just because I know it'll be encouraging, because a lot of families, especially Black families, go through a lot of just mess and a lot of sloppiness, and things end up turning where, I don't know, there's just a whole lot of victims and not a lot of survivors. And most likely the Black man, the family gets divorced. The Black man never discovers his purpose or his identity. The Black woman is just broken, struggling in her mind and in her body. And the kids just have no peace because their covering is just so broken. And we've been able to change that within our own family, as well as help other people to change those dynamics in their family. So y'all, all things are possible. That's all I'm saying. And if y'all haven't learned anything from my crazy story, y'all start taking notes today, because everything is possible. There are people who I know had the potential of being so much further along in life than they are now. But because they didn't get their mind right, they didn't get their words right, they didn't get their spirits right and their actions right, they have not been able to really level up the way they should have with the resources that they did have. Okay? So I know you probably wasted a lot of money. You wasted a lot of time in relationships. You gave of your body and your spirit to a whole lot of people, but God is redeeming the time. But the only way you're going to step into that blessing and those gifts is you getting your mind right, your actions right, getting your life right, so that you can receive all the things that you desire. So I'm going to sit over here and I'm going to keep on receiving, because God is constantly, every day I find myself with oh my goodness, God, like, He's looking out for things, like little things, just the littlest thing. Like, I just want this, and then somebody sending me this, and I just want to bless you with this, and then emailing me this. Like, how are all of these things happening over and over and over again? Just connections. But I know how it's happening, because I've been dreaming, and I have these goals, and I've been working on my mindset, and I've been working on my verbiage, and I've been working on my meditations and what my spirit is into, and it just flows, So if you're trying to create something in your life, if you're desiring to change something,